Okie dokie.
Yep, this is me. You're probably wondering, how did I end up in this situation? Well, the story begins long ago. So I sat down, excited to play my Switch, turned around, and this guy. He's a bad guy, okay? So I walked over him and I was like, grrr, why would you do that? And something weird starts happening to him. So he turned into this guy. So then he tells me to only use one JoyCon to beat FNAF 1. Like, lil bro does not have human rights. Then he just went away. Okay, where'd he go with my JoyCon? I kinda need that. This made me so sad, in fact, I had to use Freddy Fazbear for therapy.
He took my JoyCon. I need that Freddy Fazbear. I need it. Like, why would he do that, bro? Like, what?
Don't you dare mention the JoyCon in the background. Alright, so the video starts with this lovely intro. Alright, so I don't do these kind of videos traditionally, but I just had a brilliant idea. I'm gonna play through the whole game of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 with only a single Joy-Con like this. Like not like the horizontal, but vertical. Like I'm gonna play the whole game just like this. Bro Loki thinks this is a Wiimote. This would be a lot easier on PC, but this will be done with like no cheats, by the way. Like all of this stuff off. And real quick, I can show you how this works. So long story short, I use the stick to move, then I use the front right bumper to use the cameras, which you cannot see because my dumbass. Then like the normal game, I use the B button for the light and A for the doors. However, you cannot actually move the cameras with this exact joystick. So I found this really cool button that gives this stick the other stick's functions. Yay! So that's solved. So then I start showing off my really cool epic controller collection for some reason. So then I sucked it up and started playing the damn game. So I started with getting used to the controls of this since this was like really weird. Oh wait, why mute the phone guy? I forgot about that. I meant to honk the nose, but I accidentally mute the phone guy. Idiot. This night was so boring, in fact, I just put my controller down. Night 1 was just traditional FNAF 1 Night 1. It was so boring, in fact, Bonnie didn't even move at 2 AM. Though he did move for the first time at 3 AM for once. There he is. As surprising as it sounds, he actually ended up popping up in the hallway corner at 3 AM. Damn. That's, yeah, even I was kinda speechless. And I guess he was really interested in that hallway, considering he sat there for the whole hour of 3 AM. Then he finally moved to the supply closet, and I accidentally gave Foxy a few windows to move, so I guess he abused that. Then after what felt like 20 business days, he finally attacks the door. Geez, took you long enough. And then he just casually proceeds to camp the door for the rest of the night. Bro, I really love the original off. Like, the ambience, the atmosphere, and everything. I think, like, the original, based off the original formula. You set off the animatronics, the rose, 3 sprites, and also the identical game's charm. And so I don't have 1 G1 sprites. It will, though. That thing's here, like, the whole entire game one. I'm surprised if there's anything still there. Had to have one more boop. Yeah, that's what I thought, Bonnie was still there. So now with night 1 done, we have 4 more nights to do. Night 2 started out just like night 1. of this game.
I won't talk quite as long this time, since Freddy and his friends tend to become more active as the week progresses. Anyways, anything under control. I'll talk to you soon.
Bro didn't even move until 1 a.m. I swear he was having the best news of his life. See this? Yeah, keep this in mind for later.
Now is where I like to be quiet, just so I can... Yeah.
Do you not realize how quick he was there? Let's roll the clip back and start a timer now.
Alright, he's just gonna do the back and forth game, I'm assuming. You know, I'm gonna laugh if I see Golden Freddy. Like, honestly, I did encounter him... Oh, hey, where is he? Oh, there he is. I just saw him. Now is where I like to be quiet, just so I can... Yeah.
24 seconds. And for night 2, that's really fast, considering how low his AI level is on the earlier nights. And what does he choose to do? That's right, he camps my door for a whole hour.
Nice.
I swear, bro, if he keeps doing this.
Oh, and he comes back at 4 a.m. And one thing I can definitely say I'm thankful for is he wasn't even there for that long.
So that's cool. Then at the end, I was basically light checking for my life because this was basically the positioning at the moment.
What they're doing.
And I literally got a last second Bonnie attack before 6 a.m. arrived.
There we go. Nice.
Night 3 is just mid. Again, similar to night 2, but we have a newcomer. I mean, Chica basically took a bolt for the hallway for some reason. And then proceeds to just sit there for the rest of the time.
Try playing dead. You know, go limp. There's a chance that maybe they'll think you're an empty costume instead. Then again, if they think you're an empty costume, they might try to stuff a metal skeleton into you.
Now she is one step away from my door. And instead of attacking, she just moved back to the east hall. Cause she's just weird like that. Then she chooses to play the back and forth game because RNG is weird for some reason. Then after a bit of back and forth, she finally attacks the door. However, though, she wasn't even there for long. She kind of just came and went. And then sits there in the hallway.
Remember that back and forth game Chica was playing? Well, Bonnie chooses to do the same exact thing, just with the dining area and the backstage. Other sides all that, night 3 wasn't too bad. I was able to beat it fairly easy.
Okay.
Night 4 is just where a lot of things just chose to went wrong. Just starting off with the fact that Foxy's AI is now hitting the double digits. So he kind of took advantage of that. And there's kind of a reason why I didn't talk about him at all throughout this run. And then sometime at the start of the night, I found him at stage 1. But I didn't think much of it because I did put down the camera, so I can only assume I got unlucky. So I started checking the door lights because I was a little paranoid for Bonnie. But then I put up the camera again a little bit after, and there he is at stage 3 already. So that's unlucky. So I did manage to keep him in that state for a little bit, but shortly after Chica attack, he just starts running anyways, so there was nothing I could do to avoid that.
I think that's just making up for the last few nights.
Yeah, I think so too, buddy. And then literally right after, Bonnie ends up attacking my other door, so I was tag teamed by both Bonnie and Chica. So this night really put a strain on my power generator.
Nice.
Oh, and literally right after, Foxy goes back into stage 3. What is the odds I'm getting with him on this night?
Guys, I think I'm dead. Foxy is freaking, like, what the heck is wrong with him?
I couldn't tell ya, buddy. I couldn't tell ya. And I actually ended up running out of power at the end of this night, and I'm so glad I actually managed to keep Foxy in stage 3 for the entire night.
Get me killed and I know it. I'm just gonna stall. Bro, I'm taking this moment to like stretch my fingers. Will this be our first death? I'm actually just gonna like do this. Will this be our first death? Pretty long power outage. Nice, nice. Okay, yes, we do get to move on.
Night 5 is like where I really had to lock in. Why? Yeah. Though as surprised as I was, this night didn't go too badly. If anything, Foxy was less aggressive on this night. That's probably because his AI level was just higher on night 4 for some reason. But it wasn't too bad at the start. And the very first attacks of the night were at 2 AM, and I got double teamed by both Bonnie and Chica right away. Don't know the odds of that, but it was really unlucky. However, as fortunate as I was, Chica actually left fairly quickly. However, Bonnie stayed for a little bit longer. What I mean by a little bit longer is like a lot longer.
It's not annoying.
And literally the only other attack in the night was another tag team from Bonnie and Chica, where they just both appeared at the door. And this time, Chica decides to take Bonnie's spot by staying a lot longer than Bonnie. However, I was running really low on power at the start of 5 AM. I had about 10% left at the start of 5, which if you know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, 10% at 5 AM, at the start of 5 AM I should say, that's pretty bad. That means I had to stall as much as I possibly could. What did I do? I stalled as much as I could, though I kept doing occasional camera flips just to make sure Foxy and Freddy didn't do anything, so I kind of had to hope and pray that Freddy Fazbear didn't have too much fast crack at the start of the night. Why? Because I was not checking show stage at all later on. However, I was lucky that he never moved throughout the rest of the night, so I honestly didn't worry about him at all.
I'm just gonna like sit here. It's a failed attempt. I already know that. I already know this is a fail. I just know on my soul this is a fail. On my soul this is a fail, I know it. I know this is a fail. Come on, Freddy. Yeah, man. Just kill me. What? Whoa.
That's right, I let 10% last me throughout the entirety of 5 AM. Even though that power outage was really unlucky, I could have died. But I was very fortunate to beat the night on my very first attempt. As surprising as it sounds, I did not die once. And I did this all with one JoyCon, so if you know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, the game isn't actually over. After I took a small break to rest my fingers, because the Joy-Cons are small, I came back and I instantly booted up Night 6.
Oh, it wasn't out of view, because I can't see my phone screen, but... we're gonna hop right into the 6th night.
Honestly, what I was surprised about was Night 6 wasn't exactly all that bad. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was, considering how aggressive the characters are in this game. However, Bonnie did make a bolt for the door right away at 12 a.m., which honestly I wasn't bothered by because he didn't really stay for much long. And then later we're given Night 5 flashbacks because I was tag teamed by Bonnie and Chica again. This was like 3 tag teams in the span of 2 nights. And this was the quickest attack in the entire game I've had so far. Remember the power issue we had at the end of Night 5? Well, it was a lot worse here, because I had less than 10% at the start of 5 a.m. Surely I'd die, right? Because this is also considering the fact on how unforgiving the power generator is on Night 6 compared to Night 5.
Do you think we stalled for long enough? No, we did not. I know we did not. I can confidently say we're dead. Either Foxy is going to jump us or Freddy is going to ruin my life with some power outage. I'm gonna cry. Damn! He literally just moved to the kitchen and he's playing the theater march. I love that. He literally just moved to the kitchen and now he's playing the theater march there. He's kind of choosing not to play it here, I guess. Oh, now he's playing it here. I guess he had to practice first. That's valid. If I'm being honest, I think it's playing twice, actually. Whoa!
In this moment, I really felt like the luckiest man alive. And now that I finally got my $100 paycheck, it is time to do the impossible, or what was impossible, 420 mode with 1 JoyCon.
Hell no. I cannot do 420 without dying. But we're just gonna jump right into it. Just because.
420? Yeah, this night gave me some trouble. This was whenever I was still trying to decide which strategy I use, because there's 3 of them. And I'm going to start out with mentioning the one that just never crossed my mind, being the right door closed, check on Pirate Cove strategy. I don't know what to call it. But this strategy, yeah, this is way too many inputs for one hand to make, so I just chose not to do it. And then there's the strategy everyone uses. You go on cam 4B, and then you just keep checking the left and right lights. This would work, which was actually the strategy I started with using. However, it was just the turning of the office that was too hard for me, mainly because it's all on one hand. And finally, we have left door camp, where you just sit at the left door and you only check the right door when Chica has been seen in cam 4B. And this was basically the strategy I used. Well, this was a strategy I ended up using. Mainly because you don't have to turn the office, and it was less strain on my fingers since my fingers were really hurting. Anyways, I didn't make it far on my first attempt only because I opened the right door and then I moved to the West Hall camera, which got Freddy to kill me. So I just quit. However, though, the second attempt was when I started using left door camp, only because I just noticed on how much easier and less strain this was on my fingers. However, on my very second attempt, I did get it to 5 a.m., and it was 5 a.m. for a pretty long time, but I just got really bad power outage RNG.
Freddy. Please, Freddy. Long song. Please. No. 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 No! Don't. Don't you dare. Don't. Oh, no!
That was devastating. And then the attempt right after I failed because I accidentally ended up move cameras again, which got Freddy to kill me. However, though, this did not take me nearly as long as I thought it would. Because I was just so desperate to beat it, I got this attempt.
Please tell me this was better. Please tell me you approve, Freddy. Oh my gosh, I was so locked in for that whole time. I almost died to Bonnie because I flipped the camera while he was at the door. Fuck. Yes. Yes. All with this. All with this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And there we go. I finally answered the question. Is it possible to beat Five Nights at Freddy's 1 with only a single Joy-Con? Answer was yes. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you really did, thumbs up, subscribe, do all that. Smash it if you want to, don't break your phone screen. And, I wonder if I can get my other Joy-Con back. Buddy, I beat FNAF 1. I beat it. Now you owe me my Joy-Con back. Give me my Joy-Con back. Wait, that was easy. Aww. Wait a minute.